For a long time, people on your planet have misunderstood the actual meaning of that word. It is an ancient Sanskrit word, but most people on your planet have come to think of it as some sort of retribution or punishment or comeuppance or just desserts, so to speak. Someone might do something to you that you feel hurt you, and then maybe later something happens to them that they don't find pleasant, and many people on your planet go, karma, they got what they deserved. That is not the meaning of karma at all in its original form. The Sanskrit word karma simply means action. That's literally what the word means, action. And as we have said many times, actions are the language of physical reality. So this is understood in ancient times as the idea of the actions you take to rebalance yourself if you find that you have taken some action that brings you out of balance. So it's not an issue of punishment. It's not an issue of retribution or comeuppance or deservability in that sense. Yes, your actions have consequences. Of course they do. What you put out is what you get back. That's the law. But the idea is that karma is really just a guiding mechanism, a mechanism to allow you to be more aware of when you are out of alignment with your true vibration, so that you can take whatever actions are required, whatever karma is necessary for you to bring yourself back into alignment with your core true frequency, your core vibration. So it's important now, in this day and age of clarification, of definitions, to let go of the idea that karma has anything at all to do with retribution or punishment, and allow yourself to begin to take and use it in a more conscious and responsible way to constantly guide yourself in the recognition and the discernment that you may have created a situation or a circumstance within yourself by some actions that may have moved you out of alignment with your integrity, with who you really prefer to be, and use that awareness to take the actions necessary to bring yourself back into alignment. That is why we have often said that as soon as you recognize you're out of alignment and choose to bring yourself back into alignment, choose to explore yourself and let go of those things that have brought you out of alignment and allow yourself to go back into alignment, you have erased your karma. Again, not meaning the idea of punishment, but the idea of the willingness to take the actions necessary to right yourself, to guide yourself, to course correct yourself through life, and bring yourself back into alignment. Now, this is why what we have just described is the answer to when people ask, well, this person, no names shall be given, does things that are very much out of alignment, very negative, and yet they never seem to really reap any consequence of this. They don't seem to be subject to the so-called law of karma. That's, again, because karma is not a punishment. The idea may sometimes be that a person's belief systems that are negatively oriented may allow them to experience some negative things in turn, but that's because they're holding on to the negative beliefs that caused them to go out of alignment to begin with, and are still holding on to them, which can attract more negativity as a downward spiral into their lives. However, there are people on your planet, you generally label them as either sociopathic or psychopathic, that simply do not have the awareness within themselves because they've never been taught to, or simply have some particular physical reason for disconnecting from that aspect of their consciousness, so that they do not have the correcting mechanism. They do not know how to take the actions that would bring them back into alignment, because the belief system that they have developed within themselves allows them to believe they are not doing anything that is out of alignment, and therefore they see no reason to activate the karmic actions that would bring them back into alignment because they don't believe they're out of alignment. So again, this is why some people may continue to do very negative things and never seem in any way, shape, or form to be held responsible for these things. Nothing bad ever seems to happen to them, as people on your planet say. This compartmentalization of beliefs and the belief that you're not doing anything negative because of the lack of connection to the karmic actions necessary to bring you back into alignment is the reason why this can occur. So it's all about allowing people to start understanding, reconnecting, and letting go of the idea that karma has anything at all to do with blame or punishment, and it's simply a device that allows you to take the actions necessary to be who you truly are, to recognize your core vibration, and to bring yourself back into alignment with it. This allows you to begin to really take full responsibility for the things that you create and perceive in your physical reality experience. And as we have said, responsibility is nothing more than the ability to respond. So karma, being defined as action, is the heightened ability to respond to misalignment by taking the actions necessary to bring yourself back into alignment. That's all karma is, but it is a very powerful tool if used in that way, in its original intention. So allow yourselves to practice letting go of any definition of karma that has anything at all to do with the idea of comeuppance or retribution or revenge, and allow yourself to bring it closer to home as a device that is actively participating in the creation of your life and your reality experience, and can be used every day in the most positive ways to make sure that you are course correcting and allowing yourself to move forward in the most aligned way to your true core being.